On Thursday, news broke of a multinational prisoner swap with Russia. Bloomberg's Jennifer Jacobs reported Russia is releasing Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan as part of a major prisoner swap with the United States, according to people familiar with the situation. So now there's a number of prisoners that are being exchanged here. Now the men, specifically these two men, Gershkovich and Whelan, were jailed in Russia on espionage charges they in the U.S. deny. They're en route to destinations outside of Russia. The U.S. and its allies will return prisoners to Russia that they hold under the deal, the people said, asking for anonymity to discuss matters that were not yet public. The U.S. has been in talk for years to achieve the release of the two, which the State Department has designated as wrongly detained. So now, this has been negotiated between President Joe Biden, Russian President Vladimir Putin, obviously, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, among many other international dignitaries, and they successfully negotiated this prisoner swap / release. All right, that's great. We got Americans that are coming home. Awesome. That said, Vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is going to give someone who was not seemingly involved in this whatsoever the credit.
Look, I think it's great news, at least what little we know. We certainly want these Americans to come back home. It was ridiculous that they were in prison to begin with, but we have to ask ourselves, why are they coming home? And I think it's because bad guys all over the world recognize Donald Trump's about to be back in office, so they're cleaning house. That's a good thing, and I think it's a testament to Donald Trump's strength.
Okay, wow. What does this have to do with Donald Trump? Nothing. But if you thought that there was something that Donald Trump wouldn't try to take credit for, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. J.D. Vance, by the way, showing you exactly why Trump picked him, okay? And by the way, he's not the only one. Governor Doug Burgum also told Fox News, quote, he was another possible VP pick, said the Biden administration is clear the reason why Russia wanted to do this deal now is they think that President Trump's going to win and they don't want to deal with him. Of course. Look, this talking point is ridiculous, but here's why they're going with it, right? So Trump had previously boasted that he would be the only one to be able to release the prisoners and would do so without giving anything up. That's right. I'm going to get all the prisoners back, and then I'm going to give them nothing in return. Really? Is that how deals work nowadays? I mean, certainly not how prisoner exchanges or other deals work. You usually have to have some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement here. But apparently, Donald Trump thought that he could, just get whatever he wants, demand it from Russia, and then Russia just gives him whatever he's asking for. Well, that said, President Joe Biden was asked about that. Here's his response.
President Trump has said repeatedly that he could have gotten the hostages out without giving anything in exchange. What do you say to that? What do you say to President Trump now, former president?
Why didn't he do it when he was president?
Sir, what did you Hey, look, that's a good question. Good question. Why didn't Trump do it as president? Well, so now that said, Gershkovich wasn't actually arrested until 2023. So, yeah, that was during Biden's administration, obviously past Trump's administration, so Trump couldn't have rescued him. But many of the others were on Trump's watch. I mean, Paul Whelan, for example, was arrested in 2018 during Trump's time as president. So why didn't Trump get Paul Whelan out? Well, back in 2022, former Trump National Security Council official Fiona Hill told CBS's Margaret Brennan that Trump wasn't particularly interested in Whelan's case. Well, wait a minute. Wait. You say you could get him out without giving any return, but apparently he wasn't all that interested. Now, here's the thing. That came out during the time that Trump was criticizing Biden over the release of Brittany Griner, who, was traded in exchange for a well-known international arms dealer. So, how dare you release this dangerous arms dealer, which, by the way, the United States is the world's arms dealer. So, I mean, Really? Really? No, no, more very dangerous. No, like more like cutting into defense contractor profits. But anyway, um, anyway, so no, you traded that person, that very dangerous person, for Brittany Griner, which, by the way, great. I'd make that trade, 100% every single day. Just saying, like, because we shouldn't have American citizens get detained in Russia on BS charges. Okay, and obviously, yes, sure, you could say, but Russia is, kidnapping people for just such a thing. Yes, that makes Russia the bad guys, at least in that regard. Okay, and so maybe we should, make it, or at least warn people, hey, don't go to Russia. It'd be a bad idea to go to Russia. Just saying. But that said, getting back to Whelan, right? So here's what Trump asked. Why wasn't former Marine Paul Whelan included in this totally one-sided transaction? He would have been let out for the asking. Really? Well, then why didn't you ask? I mean, that's a good question, right? So now it turns out that Trump had turned down a trade for Whelan during his administration. So you had the chance to bring him back, and you didn't. And all you had to do was ask so that you could make a trade. What happened? What happened? Look, none of this, of course, is going to matter to MAGA or Trump, because no matter what, they're going to try to find a way to criticize Joe Biden for this deal, likely as soon as we know more about it. Specifically, who Biden had traded, what kind of Russian prisoners that were swapped for these American citizens. And so, they probably will criticize Biden soon, because that's just what they do. But I think the important thing that needs to be focused on is that this is a win for diplomacy. Yes, the fine art of diplomacy. And in diplomacy and in making deals, you don't always get exactly what you want. You have to give up something in order to get something in return. That's kind of how these deals work. And so Donald Trump, for all his bluster, I mean, obviously you're not going to make a deal where you get nothing in return. That's a stupid deal. But Donald Trump's a stupid man. And so he thinks, well, all I have to do is just intimidate them. Yeah, go ahead and intimidate. Try to intimidate a nuclear power. Yeah, not exactly the smartest thing in the world. If you're against the whole idea of mutual annihilation, right? So I would prefer diplomacy to nuclear annihilation. So that's why I prefer diplomacy. And if you don't understand that, there's a very good chance that you're probably MAGA. But anyway, the important thing here is people are coming home, American citizens coming home, thanks to efforts by including Joe Biden and not including Donald Trump. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.